Hello Summoners! Matthew from the Nintendo Treehouse here with some quick tips for the Fire Emblem Heroes game. More characters from Fire Emblem Three Houses for the Nintendo Switch system are coming our way. Today I'd like to introduce these 4 new heroes and give some tips for using them. Let's take a look at our first hero. He is Ferdinand von Eyre. According to him, Ferdinand von Eyre is a noble among nobles. Although others in his class may disagree with that, Ferdinand von Eyre really does take his role as a noble seriously and is always thinking about how to best serve his country and people, even if his attitude might make people think otherwise on occasion. In Fire Emblem Heroes, Ferdinand von Eyre is a cavalry unit with high defense and speed, and his skills all help complement his role as a mounted physical tank. His weapon, Vanguard Plus, gives him +7 to defense during combat that a foe initiates, while Fortress Defense gives him another 5 defense at the sacrifice of -3 attack. His C skill, Rouse Speed Defense, gives him another +6 to defense and a +6 to speed at the beginning of the turn if he is not next to any allies. With a potential total of +18 to his already high defense, combined with his speed, Ferdinand von Eyre is not only able to take physical hits, his high speed also makes it difficult for his foes to use follow-up attacks against him. A great way to use Ferdinand von Eyre is to keep him slightly away from his allies and charge ahead to take the hits. If allies with low defense are in danger after an attack, have Ferdinand von Eyre use reposition to get them out of danger. Although he doesn't come with a special, you might consider giving him a skill like Bonfire that changes that defense into damage. For seals, I would recommend seals like Steady Posture to further increase his boons, or seals like Brazen Attack Resistance to balance out his other stats. Next up is another member of the Black Eagles, Bernadetta. Bernie probably talks to herself about as much as she talks to others, and originally didn't even want to attend the academy. Although she is pretty anxious and avoids social interactions, she has a great heart and is open to possibly opening up. In Fire Emblem Heroes, Bernadetta is armed with a bow, and luckily, she doesn't necessarily have to interact too much with her foes on the battlefield. Her bow is called the Persecution Bow, and gives Bernie a boost of +5 to attack and speed if she is hurt or inflicted with any penalties. Also in that state, if she initiates combat, she can make a follow-up attack before the enemy can even counter. She has a good option to activate the effect of her bow without taking a hit by using Ardent Sacrifice to heal an injured ally by 10 HP while taking 10 from her. She also has Attack Speed Push to increase those stats further when her HP is over 25%, and Lull Speed Defense neutralizes bonuses and decreases those stats of an enemy during combat to ensure more damage. True to her personality, Bernadetta fights best from a distance and gets stronger when she begins to feel that she's in danger. Being hyper-aware of her surroundings, she has the C skill of Close Guard, so she can help her allies survive attacks from sword, lance, axe, dragonstone, or beast foes. Since she's at her best slightly injured, I would recommend Brazen Attack Speed to deal more damage while helping to ensure a follow-up attack. Her fellow classmate Ferdinand von Eyre might make a good match with her on a team to keep her out of danger. Now let's move on to the Blue Lions. If you're wondering who has worked hard enough to become that class's next representative, it's Annette. Annette is an extremely hard worker that is always eager to learn and help, although she is known to overdo it at times. She's also the descendant of one of the 10 elites and can use one of the relics. In Fire Emblem Heroes, Annette is a combination of a great attacker and excellent support unit. Her relic weapon is called the Crusher, and it can deal high damage whether a foe has high defense or high resistance. This is because the Crusher will deal damage based on the foe's lower stat between defense and resistance. However, the Crusher also grants an extra space of movement to non-long-range cavalry allies that Annette uses a support skill on if she decides not to attack. The support skill she comes with is Rally Attack Speed Plus, which gives an ally +6 to both of those stats. These buffs cover most of the rally skills that she can use in 3 houses. To make using the support skill even more attractive, Annette also has Defense Resistance Ruse, which will inflict foes in cardinal directions of her and the ally she assists with -5 to both defense and resistance and the guard status. Since Annette will likely use assist skills, I recommend equipping her with Feint type seals to inflict foes in cardinal directions with even more stat decreases. Last but not least is Lysithea. She's the youngest member of the academy, but she would rather you not focus on that. Lysithea is a magical genius that draws a lot of strength from 2 crests. This extremely rare occurrence makes her strong, but it's also a curse in a few ways. The one that bothers her the most is that people tend to gloss over her good efforts and assume that the crests are doing all the work for her. She also claims that she definitely isn't scared of ghosts, isn't into sweets, and isn't interested in anything that a kid would be interested in. The accuracy of those claims is open to interpretation. In Fire Emblem Heroes, Lysithea's talent for magic really shines. She has outstanding base attack and speed combined with many other skills that build on that base. Her weapon, Hades Omega, accelerates her special trigger, increases her attack and speed by +4 if she initiates combat, and adds another +6 to her attack during combat if her special is ready to trigger. Her skills also include Time's Pulse and Moonbow. Since Moonbow only has a base count of 2, Hades Omega combined with Time's Pulse will almost guarantee that her special is always ready to use. To give enemies even lower chances of surviving an assault from Lysithea, she also has the B skill of low speed resistance to inflict -3 and neutralize bonuses from both those stats. However, her defense and resistance are quite low, so try to keep her out of danger after she goes in for an attack. To ensure that even a foe with fairly high resistance won't be able to escape severe injury, I might suggest Chill Resistance or Swift Sparrow for her seal. These new units from Fire Emblem Three Houses bring some interesting sets of skills and really reflect their potential from the original game. Although they can fit into many types of teams, they also work well together as a team themselves despite coming from different classes.
If I have to.
That's all for today, Summoners. Good luck!